Do you feel like you're struggling with emotions either on a daily or a nightly basis as a result of a past trauma and unhelpful experience? Or perhaps these emotions or thoughts or sensations or images bubble to the surface unexpectedly and they really prevent you from showing up as your best self? In this video, I'm going to talk about a simple yet powerful technique called havening techniques that can really help you unchain yourself from your past. My name is Dr. Ruth Mary Allen. I'm a certified brain health coach and high performance coach. I'm also a certified havening techniques practitioner. And for the past 25 years, I've been helping CEOs to senior executives and military leaders unchain, unlock and unleash their full potential, letting go of their past, achieving greater mental clarity and performance, and optimizing their unique brains so they can really step into their greatness and reach that next level of performance and potential. I also used to struggle from past trauma. In September 2019, I unexpectedly witnessed my dad's sudden death, and it was a very traumatic day, and by the power of havening, I was able to unchain myself from the unhelpful emotions, images and sensations that had been encoded from that day, and really help me show up as my best self. And previous to that, I was struggling with crying on a daily basis, but now I can look back on that event with much more kindness, compassion and acceptance, and really reflect on the lovely positive memories I have of my dad. And indeed, I've been able to help my mum with that day too, and also the grief that has followed. So if you are struggling with your emotions, if you're struggling with unhelpful thoughts, sensations or images as a result of a past trauma, these could be the best few minutes of your life. So what is havening? Havening is a psychosensory technique that uses the power of havening touch to generate calming delta waves in your brain. These are low frequency delta waves that are generated typically when you're in a very deep sleep. When we experience a trauma where we want to escape a threat, our brain responds, the amygdala in our brain responds by creating a short circuit to tell our brain to fight, flight, freeze or defensive rage, depending on what the particular threat is. And that's really permanently encoded on our brain by what we call AMPA receptors. And that's done by our brain sending really high frequency gamma waves to tell our brain cells to plug those AMPA receptors to the surface of our brain cells to act as that short circuit, so that from an evolutionary perspective, if that threat appears again, we can do whatever we felt was necessary at the time that that event took place. Helpful, evolutionary speaking, not so helpful in today's world. And obviously what can happen then is that encoding from that traumatic event comes to the surface on a daily basis when we experience anything similar to that past trauma. So havening touch, what it does is by generating calming delta waves by the process of either rubbing our hands, stroking our shoulders, or washing our face. So washing our hands, washing our face and stroking our shoulders. These calming delta waves go to those brain cells which have that short circuit encoded and tell the brain cells that AMPA receptor is no longer needed, and it actually unglues the AMPA receptor from the surface of the brain cell, sends it back into the brain, and that result is permanent. And what you find is you have a release of emotion. Those emotions, any unhelpful images, any unhelpful sensations that were encoded as part of the event can be permanently removed. Why is it really helpful? So havening techniques is great because you don't have to say anything about your experience to feel the benefit. In fact, you don't have to say anything at all. A lot of my clients find it difficult to talk about the trauma because it can be so traumatic, and that is absolutely okay. You will still feel the benefit from the session. The other great thing about havening is you actually can achieve the benefit in just one session. In fact, I had a client who was suffering from PTSD, had had several previous treatments that hadn't been helpful, and in just one session they were able to remove their flashbacks. And finally, the power is in your own hands. So you are in control of the session. You go where you want to go, and you yourself are the one that helps you unchain yourself from your past trauma. I do not want you to be chained to your past as I was. So if you are ready to find out how I can help you, then grab your free Unleashed strategy call by clicking on the link below. It will direct you to my calendar where you can choose a time slot that is suitable for you. Now, you might say to yourself, this can't possibly be true. Where's the scientific evidence behind this? In fact, there's over 30 years of scientific research behind this by the founders, Dr. Ron Rudin and Dr. Stephen Rudin in the United States. And there are several papers now in the United Kingdom that have shown that one single session of havening has yielded really powerful results, reducing cortisol levels, reducing heart rate, reducing blood pressure associated with people's actual experiences. So it is a really powerful technique. So I do not want you to be a slave to your past. If you are ready to take action, then do click on the link below. What will be the cost for you if you don't take action? Our brains actually, when we experience a trauma, become more vulnerable. So we are more susceptible to future trauma as a result of creating a vulnerable landscape in your brain. So inaction could cost you for your resilience in the future. So if you are really ready to build your resilience, to unchain yourself, to not be a slave to your past, then make sure you click on the link below to register for your free strategy session with myself to find out how I can help you. I look forward to talking to you very soon.